Got an interesting question here. Cheryl Lynn with Luther Vandross, was that the best female duet that he did? And my answer is yes, especially when I consider the other two, the main ones. Because the main was Beyonce and Luther for their remake of The Closer I Get to You, the Donny Hathaway Roberta Flack classic, which I did like the vocals on, but I didn't feel no chemistry. I felt it was kind of dry, felt like through the motions, but I do think that's probably the best Beyonce sounded early on a record. And she needed more material like that. She never has gotten it. And that's why her records have been kind of lackadaisical. And her this stuff just kind of comes and goes. There's been no challenge and no upkeep. And then Endless Love with the Lionel Richie Donna Ross remake that Luther Vandross and Mariah Carey did on his duets or his remake album, which was lackluster, soulless, and boring and bland. And it just didn't really do nothing for me. Ironically, for a guy who made some of the greatest remakes ever, but this just didn't do it. And I think it's had a lot to do with Mariah. I really do. I just don't think that that's her strong suit. And I think that it just kind of wore down. I think the reason being why it's so obviously for me why it's a no-brainer is because him and Cheryl Lynn, if this were Remind, which was the old classic Marvin Gaye, Tammy Terrell song, which was so soulful, they took a pop type song and flipped it on its ear and made it, you felt the heat. They did it on Soul Train and that live vibe just hit. You know, Cheryl Lynn is pretty underrated when you think about it because she could sing, she had soulful songs, she did some great duets, etc. And it's like, I don't know what quite is missing because she could get funky, she had groove, she had slow cuts. You did a great remake with Luther Vandross, which, you know, that should solidify everything. But I think Cheryl Lynn was the best female duet that Luther had, easily over his working with Mariah Carey and Beyonce. I think it's because the vocals, the songs, the styling just hit, you know. And again, as great as Luther was, and he still could sing, obviously, but the material just didn't quite hit the same. I don't know. It just, some of it is the way the song was done, some of it is the style of the song. So maybe, but it's just that when I hear If This Were Remind with him and Cheryl Lynn, it is so believable. It is so strong. It is so coaxing. It's so soothing that you don't want it to end. It's like, yeah, that is how you do it.